Greetings, my leaders. I hope you had a blessed Sunday. We are meeting here on live with Chatufa. Thank you so much for those that continue to support this platform. It is just so amazing how you people continue to support the gospel of the freedom of the Zimbabwean people. We continue to pray for the nation. We continue to stand in the gap for the nation. As our nation is broken, we have a broken nation. We have a nation that is under mourning. We have a nation that has lost its moral fabric. We have a nation that is really pathetic when you think about what we experience and what we see happening in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwean police immoral video is an embarrassment to Emmerson Mnangagwa and Zanu PF. You see, we really can't tell what really is happening in the country because we have seen quite a lot of immorality happening in our country. Immorality because of the kind of leaders that we have. We have a government that is just so embarrassing. A government of leaders who are into prostitution, who are into immoral behavior, who are into fornication, who are into promiscuity. It's just so sad because almost every debt and every sin that you can talk about or think about, you find it happening within the leaders that are in Zimbabwe, especially the ZANU-PF leadership. And this is spilling over now to everyone. As we always say, that fish rots from the head. It is just a sign that something is not right up there by the head. That is why we are seeing the morality of our country just becoming so pathetic. So we have seen a video of police officers speaking some vulgar, embarrassing, and immoral language. And, you can tell that this is just frustration because of what is happening in the country. Everyone is frustrated in Zimbabwe, especially those that are government workers. They are so frustrated because the money that they are getting from this Mnangagwa government is just so pathetic. They fail totally to do what other of their counterparts in neighboring countries are able to do. And just the fact that you can't feed your children, putting enough food on the table for your family, it's really very painful, especially for a parent. But that is now the order of the day in Zimbabwe. We have nurses, teachers, professionals who are failing even to send their children to school, buy their children enough stationery for the school, even for them to buy themselves clothing. And it is so sad. That's why we have just a frustrated populace. It's a frustrated country, a frustrated nation that we are seeing in Zimbabwe. So I'm sure quite a number of you have seen the video, but this video is simply depicting the kind of country that we are, what ZANU-PF has caused us to become. And that's exactly a sign that we see in this video of police officers, people who are supposedly the law enforcement and the custodians of the law. But if they are now coming up and doing such kind of videos and speaking such kind of language, really it is very sad and pathetic. Peter Ndore is saying here, this is unfortunate. Zimbabwe police in uniform shouting how they will spend their bonuses on prostitutes. Is that not illegal? Police Zimbabwe, will you be investigating or is this allowed? What kind of example is this setting for society? Indeed, that is very, very true. And quite this video has made much rounds around social media, and people are really condemning what we are hearing in this video. So you see, this is the kind of thing that we are talking about. And these are supposed to be police. These are supposed to be the riot police. That's why these people, they beat people, citizens of Zimbabwe, mercilessly. Because look at their character. You can tell that their character is already questionable. Imagine if people of this kind of character are sent to go and beat up people. They will harm people. These are the people that beat people right in the head. We know that full, properly trained police officers are trained that no one should be beaten in the head. But we see these people doing that. And in the last time, we still remember the old man whose head had to break after they beat him up right in the head, and eventually he passed away. And that is very, very unfortunate. This is why we are having this kind of unprofessional police. It is all coming from the leadership. We have an unprofessional president, an illegal president, illegal ministers, an illegal parliament. Everything is just illegal. Illegal judges, illegal chief justice, illegal magistrates. We have everything just illegal in Zimbabwe. And that is why we are now beginning to see even this spilling over to the people that are supposed to be doing work professionally. For who should they do professional work? Because their bosses are not professional. The government that they are working for is not professional. This is why it becomes just a big rot that we see in Zimbabwe. And this is why, family, we want to continue to pray for Zimbabwe and to fight against the oppression of ZANU-PF so that we can bring a new set of order in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe needs a new set of order. Zimbabwe needs a new leadership, totally, a total overhaul of leadership in Zimbabwe and government in Zimbabwe. Then we can start to have our morals placed back in order. We have seen morals depreciating in Zimbabwe. We have seen Ubuntu dying a natural death in Zimbabwe. We have seen empathy and sympathy, just vanishing from Zimbabwe. And that is not a safe country to be. Zimbabwe is not safe for everyone. And we definitely need to work out, put our heads together, put our efforts together to rebuild Zimbabwe. But the very first thing that needs to be done is to make sure that this ZANU-PF and Emmerson Mnangagwa government must go as soon as is possible. And then we will begin to work our country. We know with the grace of God, we are going to be able to restore Zimbabwe, to put Zimbabwe back to its days of glory. It is possible. Let us continue to believe. Let us continue to pray. Let us continue to stand in the gap. We know that one of these 5 days, Zimbabwe is going to be free. Liberty is coming to our people. A new sense of hope is going to be bestowed again in the nation of Zimbabwe. And we will begin to see our people living normal lives. Things are not normal in Zimbabwe until ZANU-PF goes. This is what it is, family. Very, very sad and embarrassing. And Emmerson Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF must really be embarrassed by this kind of act from a police force that is supposed to be professional. Thank you so much, family, for joining me on the show. We will continue to meet in the upcoming shows. There's still one more show to come on this particular day. Otherwise, remain blessed. Till we meet again. Shalom.